was ill the day the earth stood still, and he told us where we stand. And Flash Gordon was there in silver underwear. Claude Rains was the invisible man. Then something went wrong. They Ray and King Kong, they got caught in a cellular jam. They had a deadly maze. It came from outer space, and this is how the message ran.
Try not to break it. Wait, she said to break it? Is it working? Yeah. Sorry for the gay voice. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin Black. Not going to cry. Hi, everyone. My name is Kevin Black. I would like to welcome you all to the celebration of life of William Taylor Basinger. Some of you may know him as Billy from back home, Mississippi and Tennessee. Some might know him as William from college and life here in Austin. And if you're a fan of movies and TV shows he was in, then that would be Taylor. But for me, he was Booby, the man I loved and adored. Wipe tears away. Okay. I had the great pleasure of spending 22 and a half years with William. Nearly half my life was with one person who was my everything. Yesterday would have been our 24th anniversary. Everything was June 5th. Our first date was June 5th, 2002. We had our first wedding celebration, June 5th, 2009. We were rebels, just like in Star Wars. Then the legit, legally recognized celebration was June 5th, 2016. He was my best friend and at times worst enemy, but more friends than enemy for sure. Not a day went by that we did not make each other laugh, even if that day might have had tears mixed in as well. Some of my happiest memories were all our trips to Disney World. We were like kids at an amazing playground of different worlds. We felt free to be ourselves and never feel judgment from others. Like the photo behind me, we loved getting that special extra Disney magic. I mean, hello, two men together without wives and kids, gay, out of rainbow. Another great memory is all the Comic-Cons, pop culture cons, Star Wars celebrations, and especially horror cons we went to. Oh, just to be clear, horror, like scary movie, not horror cons. We made so many friends over the years at the cons. We had our own con family that we loved. I've continued going to the cons and being with my con family that has been so supportive with their love and friendship. Many of you knew William longer than I did, especially his theater and college family. Oh, the stories I'm sure you can tell, and we might even get a Cliff Notes version of some of those here today. I'm so thankful for the friends that he's had and also that I can call them my friends. I'm especially thankful for Julie Buchanan, Mandi LeBlanc, Nickie Morgan, and Patti. Thank you all for bringing your theater, production, and coordination skills together to make this event happen. I would like to thank and gesture each of you in the audience today and those watching the live stream for being here for the celebration of life of our beloved William. Thank you.
Just get up to move this down. Just a little. It's okay. All right, now I have mine on a little stand here. I actually just want to thank St. Ed's for letting us have this here. Thank you so much. And for all the theater crew that's helped us out the last few days, and Patti for putting it all together. Yeah. All right, let's see if I can get through this. So all of us actually have been asking each other, what are you going to say? How long are you going to talk? And I honestly have no idea. Trying to come up with something to say about William has been much harder than I thought it would be because I have so many memories and stories, but I think that's because I've known him for so long. Like, I honestly can't even remember when I met him. Like, I know I met him in 1994, but did I meet him at audition weekend? Was it the first day of class? I honestly can't remember. That's how old I am, how old we all are, how bad my memory is, and how long I've known him, and it just doesn't matter because it feels like he's always been a part of my life. When I tried to figure out what I want to say, I took a page from Julie. Julie said, I might use a word to start thinking about what I was going to say. And the first word that came to me besides diva was warm. Warm, affectionate, having or expressing great depth of feeling, comfortable, passionate. That was William. He always made me feel very safe. I could always count on him to cheer me up. We went through so many milestones together, and he was always unapologetically being himself through all of it. Yeah. The most confident person I think I have ever known. who helped me be more assertive and love myself. The biggest bitch I have ever known. And we all know that's a compliment. I remember when, I'm sure you're going to have a few of these, when William decided to come out to a bunch of us in college. I didn't. It became a, who has told you yet? And are they mad at you? Or is he mad at you? Because you already knew. And you weren't surprised. But one fun, ridiculous college memory I have is when, for some reason, William and I felt the need to recreate the Janet Jackson Rolling Stone cover where she had a man cover her boobs and just, I'm sure there's photographic proof, and I'm really glad I don't know that it's out there. I remember him going, come on, I'm gay. I don't care about your boobs. I was like, okay. And it's like, you know, Janet Jackson had a lot of viral moments with her boobs, I'm now realizing. Anyway, life without him has just not been the same. I have no one to text about the Broadway musicals that we both had season passes to and never agreed on whether we liked them or not, except Shucked. We both really like Shucked. And we saw that the same night and talked at intermission. And I think that was the last time I saw him, and it's a really great memory to know that we both enjoyed that show because we really would fight. No, Tootsie was horrible. And he's like, it was great. What are you talking about? So, yeah. I'm really going to miss running into William and Kevin at all the concerts and musicals and gay events around town. And now, Kevin, you just have to take me and all the other girls with you because we're too old to find new gays at this point. Yeah. So I'm going to end this now with a Madonna quote I found when I was looking for something that I thought would encompass William, would be sentimental, but I found this one and thought, nah. This is Madonna in an interview, and someone asked her something, and she said, well, I'm tough, I'm ambitious, and I know exactly what I want. And if that makes me a bitch, okay. I love you, William. I miss you. And now for our first sing-along.
To the
show you how. Express what he's got. Baby, ready or not. Express yourself. Respect yourself. Hey, hey. So if you want it right now, better make it show you how. Express what he's got. Oh, baby, ready or not. Express yourself.
Okay. I Am a Superhero by William Basinger. Hark! The cry of injustice tortures my ear. Others stand by, doing nothing. I rush to the rescue because I am a superhero. My gold lame tights twinkle like the fire of legends past. I fight for them, my ancestors, and for them, my descendants, because I am a superhero. Shiny black silk gathered at my neck struggles with the adamant persecution of the wind. My hair, neatly trimmed and combed, adds to the fight. A precursor of what's to come. I am a superhero. My enemy, an evil rush of lies, a newt scrambling amongst the darkest shadows. It has not one face, but many, hiding behind a bush, church, or even an elephant if one is nearby, doling out pain and misery. As I dash through the streets, sometimes with my sidekick in tow, I hunt my enemy. But it's not as easy to find as, say, a smiling fool with green hair and a bad fashion sense. No, I search for my enemy amongst towers of oppression, suicide in the streets, persecution at every cross. But still, I press on. I am a superhero. I once encountered a spaceship. It landed close to home. Sent by their king, it was full of his aides, and they all saw my good deeds and set out to obliterate me. They knew that I am a superhero. The aides began their maniacal plot, seeping into the world. They said their purpose was to further my cause, associated with me. Of this I had no choice, but help them I would. Pow, bam, kazam! Help them be defeated by the hands of me, because hey, I am a superhero. My supporters are few, but growing in strength. They come in every color of the rainbow. They have symbols to prove their belief in me. Circles that point forward and up, the direction I wish to move in. Apollo fights beside me. Circles that add many to our numbers. Athena watches over me. Some people love me. From pink to black, they have few to look up to. I am their superhero. Am I a superhero? Some may say yes, but I have only the powers that anyone has. To others, I am a threat. The glimmer of truth in their shadow of lies. I show them their real self, and they don't like what they see. I am, I'm not repeating it again. Some people have fanciful names they call me, ludicrous and sometimes funny, as if I'd come from another planet. Degrading? Yes. But not so much for me, but to those fools who have chosen the evil path. Those who invented them, or worse, those villains who find it witty and their crimes to repeat them. Trials and tribulations of a superhero. I fight for justice. For everyone, not just me. Equality, truth, and cures. Isn't that what everyone else wants? Why? Then can't most of them see what needs to be done? I guess some just can't see past my fabulous outfit.
Hi, I'm Sarai. I also went to college with William. Just like Mandy, I don't remember when I met William. I feel like I've just always known him. Anais Nin once said, each friend represents a world in us, a world possibly not born until they arrive, and it is only by this meeting that a new world is born. This new world had a lot more Madonna, a lot more Star Wars, and I mean, it's not like I wasn't already a fan of Star Wars, but William, like everything else, took it to another level. And we're all the better for it. So when he found his freedom to be his full self, it's like everyone around him was also encouraged to be a bigger, truer, better version of themselves as well. Yes. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, and that is all. Oscar Wilde. William lived. He fucking lived. He was unafraid to be silly, to care deeply, and to express himself. I remember some play where William was the conjure man and I was the conjure woman, and I have no idea what the fuck we were conjuring. No idea whose directing scene it was, and basically anything other than William and I sitting in the back trying to be more sarcastic to each other to make each other laugh. I don't remember any of it because my memory is not so great anymore, but I can tell you that I'm sure that William won. He also loved horror films, as many of you know, from his cons and everything else. I, however, do not. Not particularly fond of being scared. This was obviously a lot of fun for William. Actually, right here in this green room, William, with the help of his lovely mother, guilted me to go see Scream with the rest of the crew, and that was my first official horror film in the theater. I spent it at Patti's side going, oh my God, 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 oh my God. And William, true to form, called me for months. I mean, months, going, do you like scary movies? And I go, William! And he goes, hee, and hang up. Months. Yeah. I mean, this is, of course, before we had cell phones and we were too broke to have caller ID, so I had no idea when it was coming. We used to live in the same apartment complex on William Cannon, him a few doors down, he and his dog Leia, and me and my cat Dax. Classic Star Wars, Star Trek. He decided one day that he was going to prank me. So he shows up and he puts his thumb over the peephole and he pounds on the door and he does some like straight man voice, like, oh, I'm coming in to get you. And I, of course, am like, what the fuck? Eventually it stopped before it called the cops, luckily. And he calls me, he's like, why the hell didn't you let me into what the hell? And I was like, that was you? He's like, what do you mean you didn't know that was me? And I'm like, oh, you put your thumb over like, what single woman is going to open the fucking door? And William then was like, wait, you didn't guess this? My straight man voice, is that good? Yeah. So he's pretty proud of himself about that one. So in recent years, of course, he continued to enthrall us all with all of his Facebook videos. And I especially remember one Christmas when he found like Snapchat filters or something. Every 5 seconds, I was like dying laughing to the point where my nephews were like, it's right, it's right. What is this? And I'm like, oh, it's my silly friend, William. And they had just died laughing. So the whole rest of Christmas, every 5 seconds is my nephews going, did William put up a new video? Did William put up a new video? Did William put up a new video? Luckily for them, he of course had. So, yeah. I mean, William was singular. He was one of a kind, and we are lucky he was ours. I can't possibly begin to sum him up or what he means to me or means to all of us. I won't even try. But I will leave you with a Madonna song that came out when we were in college that William and I both loved. Although, when I think about it, is there any Madonna song that William didn't love? But this one's apropos. You're not just a memory. Say goodbye to yesterday. Those are words I'll never say. This used to be our playground. This used to be our childhood dream. This used to be the place that we ran to, wishing you were here with me.
Damn it, Sarah. Got my ass finally. First off, I have to say, in honor of William, happy Pride, y'all. Of course. Of course, we're here during Pride for William. Do I really need a mic? Probably, because I blew out my voice with a sing-along. Sorry. There's been a running theme I've noticed that we've all said the same thing, so I'm glad. I thought I was the only one. I was going to mention first off, in the program, we say memories, right? That's what each one of us are coming up and saying, memories. And I was like, wow, since my memory sucks. And everybody has been saying the same thing. I've been blaming brain surgery. So good. I'm glad it's just being 50, I guess, is what's doing it. Sorry, y'all. We're 50 now. It's a nightmare, I know. So my memories of William, it's so wild. We've gotten together, all of us getting together and planning this. I have very specific memories, which I'll share like 2 or 3 of them about William, which probably most of y'all have heard repeatedly, so you're sick of them, but you're gonna hear them again. I was gonna say that, number one, William was the first person I met. This is one of those you've heard a million times. The first person I met in Austin. I came up here to St. Ed's for one of those. Here's where this is a call and response. If you remember these things better than me, just yell it out. Unless you're saying I'm wrong, then shut the hell up. My memory is right. It was like an audition weekend or something like that. We were meeting the professor. We were, walking campus, the whole thing. So the very first person I meet is William and his mom and my mom. And we had lunch together, so William and I could go sneak extra cheesecake. We're like, nobody's looking. We can do that, right? We can just get more. Of course we did. So the very first person I met in Austin, and then this picture was taken, dang it, in October of 2024. This was my going away party to move to Albuquerque. A year and a half ago, basically. And so my last person I saw in Austin was also William. And then in December, we lost William. Whew. So this picture means a heck of a lot to me. So I'm so glad we got to use it here. So my favorite memory, William, and our thing that we always did, and you've probably seen it if you ever follow any of us on Facebook, either one of us, you have probably seen the styrofoam joke. So let me give some context to styrofoam. Oh gosh, okay. I already looked it up and I've already forgotten. Oh, Triumph of Love. It was Triumph of Love. This was summer stock 96. 1996, y'all. So summer stock of 1996, we were doing a show called wrong show. Triumph of Love. And I don't know if Massey, if you did the set, but it involved hedgerows on the set out of styrofoam. And William and I were working on one side. They were it's a big giant piece of styrofoam that we're carving and painting and stuff to look like bushes. And we're together on opposite sides of this piece of styrofoam working on whatever we're doing. And somebody on the other end pushed it and the styrofoam popped up. And I'm going to step away from the mic for this. And William goes, styrofoam! In the most, obviously, William, I can't even do it justice. So that was forever. William was terrified of styrofoam. So I would just walk up to him, just like he would do to Sarai with the calls. I would go, styrofoam! My most dramatic. So when Mandi mentioned having a word to think of this person, of course, my word was bitch with William. My favorite bitch. Actually, that was our last text right that evening. He was talking about we were the same kind of bitch. There was a conversation we had. about somebody else that was there. But of course, that's how we were being. But I recall our senior year, there was some kind of superlative that the faculty gave away. Each department had some sort of like, oh, this is the best person in the theater department, whatever it was. It was in each department. Do y'all remember this? There was a surprise. I'll get to it. William would remember. And it was some sort of thing. It was an honor thing. It was the last evening towards when we were graduating, where you got your little certificates for honor roll, whatever the heck we called all those different things. And William and I, so all year we knew this was coming, and it is voted on by faculty or whatever. Like it was, you had to be nominated for it. It was a whole schmoo. I don't remember what it's called. There was a thing, I swear to God. No, William might have made it up. I don't know, because I'll get to it. So we competed all year. This became a thing. He turned to me one day and said, I think you're the one that I'm against for this thing. And that was it. So I think we've all sort of, well, maybe not all of us, have been on both sides of William. Oh, yeah. Some of y'all, yeah. So, yeah, I was on the other side all of a sudden of William, where, yeah, we're friends. But oh, boy, howdy, was I on the outs with William, because he thought we were in competition for this thing. Oh, and you're the only one I'm against. And so we go through that evening. Finally, we get through a whole year of school. It had to do with like how many hours you were taking. There was all sorts of things involved in getting good grades and all these things. And we did all the stuff. And then whatever, the honors evening thing happens. And we're both like ready. The name is about to be called. And they call Brooke fucking Hall. And we both were like, that bitch. And we were instantly friends again. Instantly, we were buddies. A whole year had not happened. It was amazing. So I do want to say as well, one big thing. I want to just say thank you all for coming tonight. This is amazing, this evening, this afternoon, to see so many people here who knew and loved William and the community of folks that we've known since 1994. Y'all. I know, we got to stop saying it's that loud. It's amazing to see these faces I have known. There's David Stokey. I'm going to point him out every time I see him. And I do want to acknowledge that we have actually been through a lot of loss. All of us here at St. Ed's, our class specifically. Blake Thompson passed when we were still in school, our last year. We had Blake, then Sarah Medina Pape, and then Clay Towery, Noah Neal, Kevin, Adrian Howell, William, Maddie, and then Bernie. So I just want to acknowledge that there's been a lot of loss. So remember to tell your friends you love them, because we'd never, ever know when that time is going to happen. Give them a big hug like that. Of course, I'd be the one to forget I have another job to do. I get the very distinct pleasure of introducing an amazing documentary film you're about to witness, which thank you to Stephen and Julie for this incredible thing you're about to witness. I want you to first notice you're going to see William in all his Williamness. The first thing that struck me was that freaking smile. Let's do the film.
Haven't I seen you somewhere before? Haven't I seen you somewhere before? You look familiar. You wanna dance? Yeah. Come join the party. Yeah. Let's get this started. Yeah.
Well, I can't believe I did so well. I can show my parents before I tell them.
What, do you expect them to put it on a fridge for you?
Seriously though, you're really gonna tell them this weekend?
Yeah, I'm leaving tonight.
I can't believe I failed.
I know, and you were doing so well.
Oh, you too? God, I don't want to hear that shit.
Oh, and what do you want to hear? The reality that we all did well and you fucked up?
Yeah, well, if I was up all night on a Coke buzz, I would have done well too.
Bitch, you're just jealous.
Thank you.
Let a man overcome anger by love. Let him overcome evil by good. Let him overcome the greedy by liberality.
Thank you for being patient because we had a little mix up with the times. Thank you very much. We're sorry about the programs. I did not expect this turnout. A big question that we kept getting asked is there audience participation? And I know that it's no, and I know that's really bad, but I'd originally intended to have you be able to scream out anything you want.
President Patti.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. It's for the benefit of society.
Vice President Natalie George.
Idaho. Right, and too bad.
Secretary Treasurer William Basinger.
I just remember.
Historian Suraj. Hey, that's me.
Well, should we go in?
Well, we did just graduate. Wouldn't it be fun to go in and see what our future will be like? I mean, I know the zodiac is Satan's work, but if we don't believe it, we're okay, right?
I don't think God will mind.
Let's go.
This place is creepy. Maybe this was a bad idea.
Who's there?
Customers! I am the great Lacrina, channeler of spirits, reader of fortunes, palmist, caterer.
Cater too?
He's busy, but I bet you know when something's coming up even before they call.
Oh, that's my William.
Turn it off. It's driving me mad.
The clouds are temperamental. Please try to control yourself. I won't. Get down. You ruined my birthday.
Good job, too.
Disagreeable pig.
Amanda, darling, solid.
Solid yourself.
You spiteful little beast.
No! No!
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I really didn't.
I hated you to do any harm.
Oh, Amanda, listen.
Listening to you, I'm sick and tired of listening to you. You damn sadistic bully!
Thank you. And straight, if you will cooperate, you'll rule this galaxy with me. A tyrant's dream come true. We'll get rid of you know who. The dark side is the place to be.
Fooling with you. I'm a man, fool with you. What I do, I love being your man.
I just wish I knew then what I know now. Who the fuck are you?
I'm the wish I knew then what I know now, fairy. I've come here to grant your wish.
What? Is this some kind of joke? Did my ex-boyfriend put you up to this?
Oh, no. I am here to show you what your life would have been like then had you known then what you know now.
What is that? Cocaine? Lady, I don't do that shit no more.
No, Thomas. Now, just sit back and relax.
Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen and others. I'm Paul Paulson, and welcome to my show, Up Close to Personal, with your host, Paul Paulson. I'm sorry, but I just can't live a lie anymore. Brittany, what the fuck is this? You know this is my one day off. It's 7 a.m. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Come on, Quiz. We have work to do. You've been a bad boy. Go ahead and spank yourself. No, spank yourself.
Shit, yeah. This place might not seem like much to most, but to the trained eye of a queer guy, things just keep getting better. I think I should christen the new place by beating off into John. No one loves me for who I am. They just want my big cock.
No wonder you're such a big slut. It's the only way you can find affection.
Thanks, guys. I'm sorry I'm such an asshole sometimes.
Oh, me too. I can really get caught up in my own Star Trek.
Y'all scared off my future husband!
Oh, I mean, he only would have wanted you for your curse. Yeah, we're right next to the boy barn. You can just get one later.
Yeah, but why don't you take him to his place? Not ours.
Ours? You mean it?
I think so. Lieutenant Commander Kalia, what do you think?
Well, I guess we could all squeeze in here.
Okay. But the question is, who gets the couch?
The couch is mine! We need to do something! We can do something! We should do something! We will do something! That's what we'll do!
What, me?
How did you hurt your head?
Oh, that's an unfortunate incident trying to run from a night viper.
We just lost most of the sub-basement level.
It's negligible. The effects will begin to taper off, but they'll last a good half hour.
The video we're receiving is exactly in line with the dummy story.
Ugh, we did an excellent job of saturating the media.
These readings are off the charts. I still can't believe what we found in Dr. Gray's file.
Oh, I know.
This is Jeff.
Yes, this is Candace Klein. I'm just making sure we are confirmed for our meeting with Carla tomorrow.
Yep, still on.
That's just great. Now, can you say what she looks like so I know who to look for when I come in?
Actually, she's been very ill. I saw her this morning, and I don't think she'll be back in by tomorrow.
Oh, I see.
But, I can take over for her because... Think, man, think. I'm her husband?
No, you idiot!
Yeah, we run the station together as husband and wife.
Oh, that's cute. Well, if you're family, then that can still work. I'm sure if you're married, you're both qualified to lead me through the inspection.
Well, I'm definitely family. See you tomorrow. I promise you, we don't show male genitalia on the air.
It's David Mamet, not David Mamet. God takes some acting classes, chorus.
Did you guys hear that? You bitchity bitchity bitch bitch sluts.
Nobody lucks into that deal but me, sweetie.
Next time, let the scheduling guy know. Okay, bye. Come back with lots of pics. If you consider a wasted talent slowly dying at a computer screen, all right.
Bitch, I'm trying. Why don't you play your little short?
Shut the up.
This sucks the ass of 2, possibly 3 walruses. Little baby think he can speak proper English.
I have to say that my genius was stretched a little bit thin. I'm used to working with people who have at least 1.5 films behind them, not starting on the ground floor with summer stock theater refugees.
Summer stock refugees? Those words actually came out of his mouth.
Well, I have to say that I personally benefited from his notes.
Yeah, that's because his notes to you were puke pea soup and fake blood in this toilet. I mean, truly a watershed moment in independent cinema.
I worked forever on selling that moment.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't have taken so long if you hadn't still been hanging out with your friend Tina.
Bitch, I had totally quit by then. Stop persecuting me. You don't know my life. Well, I was in a house that was a lot like this house, but also not like this house. And there was a pink elephant with sandals on. OMG, tell me, Hive Mind, what do you do when your spouse just won't stop talking no matter what you do? Hashtag shut it. Interesting. Thanks for listening. I love you. Heart, hug hands. What is it?
I'm not certain.
Let's Google it.
Okay.
It looks like a plant stand.
I'm thinking weapon. Yes, I corroborated with Google under bar brawls.
Well, I have corroborated with images on Pinterest under plant stands.
I count 27 images supporting weapon.
Ha! 28 images! Oh. Well, I still won.
By 1 image. I'll get you next time. Oh, did you see that shooting star?
Yes, that was amazing. Oh, look, there's Orion's belt.
Oh, yeah.
Lying here, looking up at the stars, the immensity of space, I just feel so...
What?
It's overwhelming. There's a sense of being so small, but...
No, don't say it.
What?
Please, just don't say it.
What's the matter?
It'll break my heart.
Music can be such a revelation. Dancing around, you feel the sweet sensation. We might be lovers with the real.
Hello. It's my turn. And you'll have to forgive me. I was born in the 1900s. So, this photo is the last time that I saw William. A handful of us met up at Ground Floor Theater to watch Patti and Dot, a show that she did. And William and I were sitting next to each other before the show started. And somehow we started talking about who looked hotter that night. That came up a lot for some reason. It was always him. And So we decided we were gonna have a little competition. So we decided to post this picture on Facebook, and whoever got the most likes or comments won the hot contest for the night. Well, I was really feeling myself, so I was teasing him like, "Oh, I'm so gonna win. So he goes and he posts it. I post it, and after he turns to me and he said, "Bitch, you don't have a shot. Look at that zit on your nose." And then he starts laughing, that throaty laugh, you know, where he started coughing because he was laughing so hard. And he was right. He got more likes than I did. So, whatever. So as others have mentioned, in the fall of 1994, we began our journey here at St. Edward's and Mary Moody Northern Theater, and we became a little bit of a family. Some of us were far from home, and some of us had grown up here in Austin, like myself. I met William, I believe it was not audition weekend because I didn't come to audition weekend, but it was our first meet and greet for the theater right after we started. And when I met him, I saw this shy, quiet, unassuming boy. And I really couldn't tell what his deal was, but I could tell that he really wanted to be liked. So he was always very like, if somebody was going to dinner, he was going with us. And okay, he was just tagging along. Okay, cool. So over the next couple of months, I got to know him and his fun, quirky lover of all things Madonna aside. And all the quiet was gone. It was, the insecurities were gone. It was just William being truly William. And I fell in love, in the kind of love where he made me feel like I could be myself no matter what, because he was being himself. Sorry. So in the early spring of 1995, we were driving probably back from Denny's from studying really late at night, where we could barely afford tea. And he was about to drop me off at my dorm room, and he pulled in the parking lot and he turns off the ignition, very serious. And he takes a deep breath and he looks at me and he says, "There's something I really need to tell you that I've never told anybody ever before." And I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" And he goes, "I'm gay." And I was like, "Okay." And he goes, "Wait, what? You knew?" I'm like, "Dude, everybody knows." And he was like, "No, I'm the first person. You're the first person I've ever told this to. What do you mean you know?" And I go, "Okay, I've known since the first second I met you that you're the gayest person I've ever met, and that's probably why I love you so much." And he goes, "I'm really just pissed off at you right now." I was like, "Okay, do you want to start over? Like, take two, let's do it again. I got this." And he goes, "No, bitch, get on my car." So I'm laughing all the way to the front door, and I turn around to look at him, and he's just like driving away from me. So yeah, that was interesting. We laughed about it for many, many years later. And I think he was so afraid to come out to some of us, and myself included, because when he was growing up, I don't think that he really felt like he could be himself from the small town that he came from. And that's one of the reasons we bonded. We both were born in Mississippi. I wasn't really raised there because we moved to Austin when I was young, but he grew up there. And I think coming to Austin and coming to St. Ed's allowed him to feel like he could be truly and authentically himself. And if that meant that we were there to embrace him in that, then that was fine with me. And I know that was fine with all of us. In the mid 1990s, I don't know if some of y'all don't remember this because you weren't born, but the jokes were your mom jokes. And if you don't know what a your mom joke is, it went something like, "Your mom is so ugly, she breaks mirrors when she walks by them," or something equally as stupid, right? But back then, William thought they were freaking hilarious. He thought they were the funniest thing he'd ever heard in his life. And my mom had died the year before we started college. And he knew this, but he'd forget. And sometimes he would throw a your mom joke at me. And one time he did it because I was so sick of hearing them. He throws a your mama joke at me, and I just looked at him dead straight in the face and was like, "William, my mom's dead." And he was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, please don't hate me." And I was like, "Just cut the shit, dude." And he's like, "Okay, I'll tell only your mom jokes to everybody but you because you don't have a mom." I'm like, "Yeah,
You got it. Jesus. But we did know from that day forward we could say anything, do anything, be anything, and all would be forgiven eventually. When you got on his bad side, all you had to do is find a new enemy together, and you were on his good side again. And that happened to us a lot. So one time in our freshman year, we're living in the dorms, and I went over to his dorm to watch a movie. And his roommate was really hot. His name was Mark. And William had a crush on him since day one. But he was like really worried that if Mark knew he was gay, that Mark wouldn't feel comfortable changing around him and all this. So William tried to put you up for Mark a lot, which is really funny if you can imagine. He's like, I'm gonna change clothes now. It was over the top. Anyway, I too had a crush on Mark because he was hot. So we went over to Williams to watch a movie, and I made sure I looked really good. And Mark was there, and he was gonna watch it with us. So Mark and I were on the top bunk, and William was on the bottom bunk. And Mark and I made out, but we were watching Schindler's List. I don't really remember what the movie was about, but I think it's sad. Yeah? Because I had an enjoyable experience during Schindler's List. But William had no idea this was happening because he's on the bottom bunk and he's like in the movie, he's crying and he's like really loving this movie. And Mark and I are like totally making out and I have no clue. And then the movie's over and William's like, oh my God, that was the saddest movie. Like, that was heartbreaking. I'm like, yeah, that sucked. It was terrible. And we leave and he was walking me to my car and I'm like, oh my God, I just made out with Mark. And he was like, what? I was like, I made out with him. It was so hot. So hot. He's like, Nickie, Schindler's List. I was like, I know, I'll watch it later. I mean, I'm sure it's good. It'll probably win awards, whatever. And he goes, bitch, this is a serious, we're a theater student. We need to learn the crap. I'm like, dude, he's hot. And he was like, well, I know. And then he was like, okay, so how was it? Like, was it good? I was like, yeah, girl, it was good. And he was like, damn it, so that means he's not gay? I was like, no, dude, he is not gay. And he was like, God. Anyway, so that was a fun memory that I have from him. Yeah, so I miss you, my friend. We didn't talk that much in our last few years that William was with us, and I really regret that. So like Patti said, or whoever said, hug your friends, tell them you love them. Spending this time with my girls the last few weeks and just talking about this thing has made me feel so happy that we haven't lost touch and that we still are just as tight as we were when we were in school. And I wish that William were here to plan this with us, but then it wouldn't be happening. So I don't know, but he would have absolutely loved all of you being here. So thank you for taking the time, and everybody watching on the live stream, thank you for being online, watching this with us. In our junior year, it was announced that Grease would be the spring musical. And he was so excited to audition for this show because he was convinced that he could be a T-Bird. Yeah. And I love him, but T-Birds are butch and straight. And I wasn't quite convinced. So he auditions, we audition, and he gets cast as an understudy, but one of the dancers in the show, as you saw in the Grease Lightning number. He walked around for weeks making sure everybody knew that was his part. And the guy who got his part might get hit by a bus or might conveniently get sick because he was going to be on stage doing that part, which never happened. But he just wanted everybody to know that that was his part and it was not fair that he didn't get to be that part. But we start rehearsals, we start choreography, we start dancing and singing every night, and it was grueling. But we loved it. We just had so much fun, and I could see him enjoying every moment that we all got to do that together, and just spending that time together was one of the best times of my life here at St. Edward's. After it sold out, obviously, before we even launched on opening night, it sold out the full 2-week run. Getting tickets was very hard unless you knew somebody, and even then you probably couldn't get tickets. So we were called in, the whole company, about through the first week of the show, and they asked us if we wanted to do it for summer stock for 3 weeks in the summer. And William and I looked at each other. We're both like, we're going to get paid to do this? Yeah, we're in. So most of the people from the company stayed and did the show, except for the few that had other things. So we recast them, and that was interesting. But but we stayed and we did it, and we got paid our first paid acting gig, and we both just thought that was the coolest thing ever, that we didn't have to work real jobs that summer. Then the clip that you saw of Grease Lightning, I will never forget, because every night they did that dance number right here. And every night I was the next person to come on stage when that number was over. And I stood in that vom right there watching through the curtains, because I watched William try so hard to look like a straight dude dancing and talking about getting lots of chicks and how he was really into that. And it was the funniest thing. And there were 80% of those guys were gay. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're trying so hard, but y'all are really got the rhythm down. Like, you got it. Anyway, that was one of the most, I would sing There Are Worse Things I Could Do right after that number. And I would come off to that bomb at the end, and William would be standing there waiting for me every night when I got off stage. And he would just hug me and tell me how beautiful it was, even when it wasn't. And he was always just there to be my biggest fan. And I will never, ever forget that about him. So without further ado, one of our favorite songs and one of his favorite songs from Grease was Summer Nights. Blanked. It was Summer Nights. And so I hope that all of you will sing along to Summer Nights with us, so we can remember the summer of 1997 and how much it really meant to us. Thank you.
Summer loving had me a blast.
Summer loving happened so fast.
I met a girl crazy for me.
Met a girl cutest for me.
Summer days drifting away to other summer nights.
Tell me more, did you get very far?
Tell me more. She swam by me, she got a cramp.
He went by me, that was so damn.
I saved her life, she nearly drowned.
Come on.
Summer sun, something's begun. We know summer nights.
Tell me more, tell me more.
Tell me more. Did she put up a fight?
Your
Gimme. Took a bowling in the arcade.
Drank lemonade.
We made out under the dive. Summer fling don't mean a thing, but on the summer night. Tell me more, but you don't gotta brag. Tell me more,
'Cause he sounds like a drag. She got friendly down in the sand. Just a name.
yeah, she was good. You know what I mean?
Summer here, boy, and you'll be back for the summer night. Tell me more. How did he spend?
Tell me more. Could she give me a friend?
Colder, that's your part. That's where it ends.
So I told her we'd still be friends.
Then we made our true love vow.
Wonder why she's doing now. Summer dreams ripped at the seams, but the
work, y'all. We did the sing-alongs. Oh, dear. It's not easy. All right, it's there. So now we have a little moment here. This is that moment, right? We're calling Spill the Tea. If anybody would like to come up and share a memory of William or a few words, now is the time. You are welcome to come up while I lose my voice. Please come save me from my own voice. Come on down. I thought I saw a stand up here earlier, but oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. So I wrote this out because I didn't want to make an idiot of myself. After learning that William was gone, following my initial shock and sobbing, a thought ran through my head. At least he'll never have to live in a world without Madonna in it. Later that day, I was discussing William with a mutual friend, and I relayed my thought about Madonna. Todd said that amidst his sorrow, he thought, someone needs to notify Madonna that her revenue stream will decrease significantly so she can prepare for a reduced standard of living. Occasional smiles resulting from these types of thoughts temporarily alleviate our grief, as do our memories of William. One of my favorite memories is the best practical joke I've ever experienced. As y'all know, William was a gifted prankster. He told me stories, he played a lot of practical jokes on his mom and the rest of his family. He's told me lots of stories. And I don't think any of us were immune. I think we've all shared stories about that. More than 20 years ago, when William and I worked at the same company, after a quick break, I sat back down at my desk and resumed working. A few minutes later, I felt something gently rubbing against my calf. I was so engrossed in my task that I assumed it was one of my cats. Seconds later, I realized I was at the office and my cats were not. I screamed and jumped out of my chair at least 6 inches off the floor. After I realized William had hidden under my desk, lying in wait to scare the hell out of me, and my initial irritation subsided, he and I laughed hysterically, and years later, we finally recalled that incident on many occasions. William was intelligent, passionate, trustworthy, talented, and creative on many levels, hilarious, loving, and unflinchingly honest. He was so genuine and safe that one enjoyed arguing with him almost as much as laughing with him. William was one of the best humans I've known. He was a true light in the world, and his premature loss left a hole that can never be filled. But our memories of William will keep him in our hearts, and we can honor him by letting the best of him live through us. Shortly after William and I met more than 25 years ago, he and I realized we were twins 10 years apart. Of course, he often reminded me that I was the much elder twin. So, my twin, I miss you and will always love you.
I'll see if I can get through this. I've met William, I think when I was 14. That's, 94, right? Yeah. And I didn't know at that time, because I was 14, that I was gay, but William did. And and he was the first, well, I don't know if he was at the time, the first time I met him, but he was the first openly gay man that I remember clearly. And I just remember that he was very honest about things. Whenever I had questions about things, and he would just be very blunt and tell me. But what I remember most is that I wanted to be like him, as far as that's the kind of man I wanted to be, because he was so everything that everybody said, intelligent, loving, a bitch. I think I got that one down, but thanks, Mom. But yeah, I don't know if I would be as accepting of myself and how I am if I hadn't met William. And I miss him a lot.
I know someone else is coming, but I'm going to take my turn. And I brought tissues. So, the first time I met William, I was at a horror convention. I'm probably one of the youngest of his friends because we've only known each other for less than 10 years. I walked past, and it seemed like every time I turned around a corner, there he and Kevin were fussing about something that William didn't want to carry, and of course, desperate Kevin was trying to carry all of the signatures and pack away everything nicely, and I kind of looked at him and I smiled, and he said, "Oh, husbands," and I said, "Yeah, I know, I've got a couple myself." And we just instantly hit it off. And whenever I would go to a convention and I would look around and I would see him and Kevin, my entire world lit up because I knew that was the place to be because William was there. And I knew that no matter where I was, I would have a friend who would tell me exactly what I needed to be wearing, exactly how I needed to be, and would always make me smile. In one of the worst times of my life, my entire world was falling apart. I went into a convention and I walked around and I thought I was the last person in the world. And William came up and he surprised me and he hugged me and he said, "I got you." And I think that's how he is with everyone. He made me feel so much better. And I got through that night, and I got through the next night, and I got through the next year because every day William would send me a funny little picture or a funny little meme. And we would send things that probably his mom probably doesn't want to know about back and forth to each other just to make each other smile. One of my last times I saw him is he had fussed about how Kevin was wanting to go to bed because, of course, our husbands have to go to bed at 9:00, and we wanted to party with all of the girls after until 2 a.m. So we sat out on this porch and we said goodbye to all these celebrity people that were walking around and all of these people. And he told me, he's like, "Girl, you have brass balls." And I said, "Yeah, I keep them right here tucked deep inside, just like you." Because I think we were one and the same. We just always had the VIP, and we would just always walk into a room like we meant to be there. We were always going to be the light of the room. I think that's what William always was to everybody. And he lit up my world, and he made me feel better. One of the last times my husband took me on a 14-day cruise, and I told him when I get back, we're going to go do something. You're going to Kinky Bingo with me, and we're going to go watch that play. And I got off the boat on December 18th, and I laid down in bed, and my husband looked at me and said, "I don't know if I should tell you this." And I said, "Unless the world has ended, I don't care. I'm tired. I just want to lay here." And he showed me Kevin's post, and the world had ended. But the funny thing about it is, a Williamism came into my head and said, "Oh, that bitch doesn't have to live through 4 more years of Trump." God damn
I love him. And if I could have one more person back for one more day, I would bring back William and I would let him be here so that he could tell us that this is just not gay and fabulous enough for him. But again, I brought the tissue.
And now I'll sing a song. No, I won't. Wow, I absolutely love coming into this place. Lots and lots of memories in this theater. And one thing is for sure, without William Basinger, it definitely would not have been an experience for me and everybody in this room. I remember meeting you ages ago. So I thought I would share just a couple of funny things that happened with William and I. It's hilarious. This is a man who never gave up. So I'm about as straight as you could possibly be. But William never, ever gave up, right? But I'll get to those moments in a second. But I'll share a couple of things. So my lease was up in my apartment, and I was like, oh my gosh, my new apartment's not ready. I don't know where to stay. And he's like, well, come over to my house. And I was like, okay, all right. Yeah, I'll come over to your house. And then, of course, I saw the Madonna shrine, the Star Wars shrine. I saw all the stuff, right, that's even out there on the table now. But I remember the third week that I was there, I got a call from my agent, and they said, we want you to come in. We got some special requests, and you're going to want to know what the audition is, but we're not going to tell you. And I was like, okay. And by the way, I'm telling William all this, and he's dying laughing. So my agent says, we want you to come to our office. You need to wear boxer shorts. The woman in the other room is going to ask you to take your clothes off. You can keep your boxer shorts on, but they're going to take Polaroid pictures of you. And I was like, okay, all right. So I went and did the audition, and I came out. My agent was sitting there taking everybody's name. And I said, are you going to tell me now what I'm auditioning for? She said, no, we'll let you know if you get it. So I'm at William's apartment, and this is like the third or fourth week that I'm there. And I get a call from my agent. And it turns out, I don't know if anybody remembers Soloflex or Bowflex, right? So basically, I was going to be the Soloflex guy, right? That was going to be on TV, right? And they had some special requests. They wanted me to work on my legs a little bit more, and they wanted me to work on my back a little bit more. So they prescribed me creatine, if you guys aren't familiar with what that stuff is, right? So it was funny because I hadn't told William all the stuff. I just said, I'm going to be the Soloflex guy. And he paused and he looked at me, he goes, what, the before guy? So that was one of them, and you could just picture him saying this, right? And then, of course, my last name is Stokey. So he always had fun playing with my last name. So I told him some that I had while I was growing up. It was Stokey-Wan Kenobi, Stokey-Mon, Stroker Ace. And then he was like, I've got one. David stroke me, put it in me, poke me. And then the last one, I never will forget, we went to Denny's. I was not studying. He was studying. But he finished his drink. We were waiting on our check, and he looked at me and he goes, David, come on. If we were on an island and there were no one else, come on. And I let him down once again. Last thing I'll say is, they say, you go to funerals. I've only heard this once, but it really is true. And for William in particular, it's not the birth date. It's not the death date. It's the dash in between. And one thing I will say is that was one fucking incredible dash.
That is tall. I don't know if I want to go last or I tell you, y'all have really put some stuff out there today. So, in my family, which I'm Kevin's sister, Tina, I'm very emotional. So I can't come up with a story because there's just too many and I don't know all the details because I am in the 50 club as well, as y'all said. So I've written something. So I hope y'all can gather something from it and can relate to it. I can find it. I know it's here. Today we gather to celebrate William and the incredible impact he made on all of our lives. William was many things to many people. He was the one who could make us laugh when we needed it most, and without even trying. His sense of humor was larger than life, and dramatic flair made it even the simplest stories unforgettable. Whether he was telling a story, making a point, or just being himself, William had a way of commanding attention and leaving us smiling. But beneath all that humor, those theatrics, was a man whose heart was rooted in family. Sorry. William loved deeply. Sorry, I'm so sorry. William loved deeply and fiercely. His family was his pride, his joy, and his purpose. He showed up for the people he loved and made sure they knew how much they meant to him. Each of us carries a different memory, as we've seen today, and a different lesson and a different piece of William with us. Some of us will remember the laughter. Some will remember his wisdom. Some of us will remember his stubbornness. And some of us, especially me, will remember the special bond we shared. Now, I know there may be some debate about this, but William and I both knew I was his favorite sister-in-law. Whether he actually said this or not is beside the point. I've decided that's the story we're going to go with today. And I think he'd appreciate the drama of that declaration. The truth is, William had a way of making everyone feel special. He made us feel seen, loved, and important. That was one of his greatest gifts. While our hearts ache because he's no longer here with us, we are grateful for the time we had. We are grateful for the laughter he brought into our lives, the memories he gave us, and the love he shared so freely. William's story does not end here today. It lives on in the family he cherished, and the lessons he taught us, and the stories we'll continue to tell, and the love that remains. So today, let's remember William the way he would want to be remembered, with laughter, with love, and maybe just a little bit of drama. We love you, William. We miss you, and we'll carry you with us always.
I printed mine out because I'm an old. Yes. Yes. Only the best. Only the best. Okay, so thank everyone for coming. It's wonderful to see so many different people from so many different facets of William's life. We'd especially like to thank William and Kevin's families for traveling to help us honor him. It's been our privilege to plan the service, and it's been such a gift to me personally to assist in the gathering and pictures and videos. So not to make this speech about myself, as William might observe on how this speech is already going. But I'm turning 50 in just a few days, and so this has been a very poignant dive into nostalgia. It's helped me recall so many special times with our friend, how full of life he was, and how much joy he brought to other people. An incredible amount of joy, I think. So we definitely want to thank St. Edward's Murray Moody Northern Theater for hosting this. It's been really nice to be back here. I want to thank Kevin, Patti, Mandi, and Nickie for all the planning and work leading up to this. Thank you to my husband, Steven, for editing the video. Thanks to Mel House for all the clips he shared and the live stream. And I want to say thanks to John Faust for allowing us to see the Masters of the Universe fan films today. Because, yeah, not everyone knew about action hero William, and everyone needed to know that because he killed a guy with a sword. I think that was the straightest thing he ever did. And of course, we have to thank William for being the person willing to film everything from our college days, whether or not you wanted him to film. Sometimes he was still filming. So I'm just so grateful to him that we had so much fun footage to share today. I first met William here at St. Ed's. I was a sheltered, shy kid from a tiny private school in a much bigger and more open place than I was used to. Theater was a balm to me, not just for the act of creating, but for the connections made with other people who want to create. I don't remember the first time I met William like others here, but I do remember the first time we listened to Madonna together. It was in the brief time before William imbibed alcohol. Yes, that time existed. And he was the designated driver for after a party for a group of slightly drunken freshmen, of which, okay, maybe more than a slide, of which I was a member. William drove us back to the dorms that night while singing along to Madonna's soundtrack to Dick Tracy at the top of his lungs with no fear. I loved it, both the music and the pure joy of experiencing someone truly enjoying his music without worrying about what he looked like or sounded like or if anybody else wanted to listen to it. He was bold, confident, loud, and fun, and completely unlike anyone I had met before. He was full of joy, and you couldn't help but share in it. That was the start of our friendship. Besides theater and Madonna, we clicked over our shared love of nerdy things. He was a Star Warrior. I am a Trekkie, but both being super fans of something made us kindred spirits. I know he will come back and haunt me for telling y'all this, but the first time we ever played Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, I won. I never let him forget that one. William had a very successful academic career at St. Ed's. He was part of the honors program and also a very vital part of the theater department, with roles in 3 productions on the main stage his freshman year alone. He worked the box office. He helped behind the scenes with costumes. He also enjoyed playing the role of Santa for kids at Christmas. He helped to found a student group for supporting LGBTQ rights, though at the time it was called something else, because we didn't have that acronym back then. But at a Catholic university in the 90s, there was some pushback to that group, but William helped it grow and prevail. After college, there was a scattering of people to the four winds, with friends moving back home or heading out to New York. William and I were still in town, and being up in our eyes to dead, decided to be responsible and get jobs. So it was during these post-college years that we became the closest and also got up to the most trouble, including a very memorable trip to see Madonna in Hotlanta, until he had the good fortune to meet Kevin. A better partner William could not have asked for. Kevin is calm, intelligent, and has enough fire and backbone in him to keep William in check most of the time. The love and trust they built between them stood the test of time. It was my pleasure to be a part of so many of their special moments throughout the years, watch them grow stronger in their marriage and have such fun adventures together. like seeing Kevin gently but firmly shepherd William in full fanboy mode around a massive convention, expertly filming William's many celebrity interactions. I remember once I was the Kevin stand-in at a particular con when Kevin couldn't go. And this was before everyone had a camera on their cell phone. So I was responsible for filming him with an actual video camera while he met these celebrities. But I was no Kevin. I kept thinking I had pressed record when I hadn't, or I would turn off the camera too soon. And of course, William got super pissy with me for not getting it right. I do not know how you did all those conventions for so long, Kevin. You have the patience of a saint. But we know it wasn't all attitude and bitchiness and bluster with William. He was a truly genuine friend who would go out of his way to make you happy. On my 25th birthday, he threw me the most amazing surprise party at his duplex, collecting all my friends to help me celebrate. When I showed up, he put me in a tiara and a cape, and he made me a birthday princess. He made it a special party that I'll never forget. And thinking about how to describe him for this speech, I kept thinking of a couple of words. One is bravery. He always had the courage to be himself no matter who else was around. I remember when we went to see Madonna in Portland in 2015. We walked up to the concert venue to find a small group of protesters, one of whom was blaring some homophobic nonsense about sin into a bullhorn. William strutted right up to him, opened up his jacket to reveal his Madonna shirt, which said, "I'm a sinner," on the front. Then he turned around and pointed at the back and said, "We're all sinners." And all the fans around him just cheered and applauded. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment. Whether you were a friend, a protester, or a famous celebrity, William was going to be William, unapologetically himself in the best way. He wasn't going to hide in a closet. He wasn't going to sit quietly while someone said something he didn't agree with. He was here to live openly and bravely, and he did. The other word I kept coming back to is simply joy. Joy was the very essence of who he was. The joy of being alive, of expressing himself, and most of all, the joy of spreading joy with everyone he came into contact with. You can see it in action while he was dancing. Wasn't he an incredible dancer? There is no better example of joy than dancing with William or watching him dance. William was the person you wanted with you when you celebrated something. It was so hard to be sad around William. He knew that when I was down, I probably just needed to hear a dirty joke or a bitchy remark, always at my expense. He knew that when everything seemed to be no fun, dark, and without hope, that's when he needed to play Madonna and dance. Whether it was getting me out of a funk or reassuring me and or mocking me about my clothing choices as needed at the time, he was always there, trying to make me smile. I wouldn't be the person I am today if I hadn't met him when I did. The sheltered kid that I was needed to know someone like William, someone who wasn't afraid to be himself, who embraced life with joy and passion. Through his example, I learned how to be myself. I learned how to stand up for myself and how to express myself. And I'm sorry, but William sent this bug into the theater because he knows that I do not like bugs. You bitch. He is here with us right now. I'm just saying. He always found a way to shine his light into the darkness when I needed it and helped me remember to reach for joy. Truly, the loss of William is indescribable because of these qualities. Nothing can ever replace his light. No one can ever shine the way he did. That bright sparkle is so incredibly special. That infectious joy. When I'm missing the most, I remember one of his favorite phrases of his. Exist within your own fabulousness. This was something he often told me when I was having one of my frequent self-esteem crises. Existing within your own fabulousness means to find your own sparkle, to what makes you come alive, and to revel in life. It means you live as he did, fully embody the precious, wonderful self that is you. And don't be afraid to express yourself. When I remember this phrase, I feel he's with me again, telling me to stop taking myself so seriously, put on some Madonna, and dance. Although he is gone and nothing can ever replace his light, I know he would want us to remember and relive the special joy we felt around him more than focusing on the sadness of his loss. He would want us all to live as he did, bringing our own light and joy to those around us, to exist within our own fabulousness and face the world with bravery. And he would really want us to buy Madonna's new album that comes out July 3rd. So now, as William might say if he were here, this is my celebration of life. Dance, people. So let's get up and dance now. Let's put on some Madonna.
If we took a holiday, took some time to celebrate, just one day out of life, it would be so nice if we thought it's better word. We're gonna have a celebration all across the world, in every nation. It's time for the good times. Forget about the bad times. Oh yeah, one day to come together to release the pressure. We need a holiday. If we took a holiday, take some time to celebrate. Come on, let's celebrate. One day out of life. Holiday, it would be so nice. You can turn this world around and bring back all of those happy
Is this still on?
days.
There's like candy that you guys can take in the lobby. The little things are all like William's favorite candy. I forgot to tell people about that.